All right, joining us now, New York Times technology reporter Shira Frankel. Her latest reporting details Republican efforts to undermine research aimed at studying conspiracy theories like the big lie. And Shira, you co-write in part this. On Capitol Hill and in the courts, Republican lawmakers and activists are mounting a sweeping legal campaign against universities, think tanks, and private companies that study the spread of disinformation, accusing them of colluding with the government to suppress conservative speech online. The effort has encumbered its targets with expansive requests for information and, in some cases, subpoenas demanding notes, emails, and other information related to social media companies and the government dating back to 2015. Complying has consumed time and resources and already affected the group's ability to do research and raise money, according to several people involved. They and others warned that the campaign undermined the fight against disinformation in American society when the problem is, by most accounts, on the rise and when another presidential election is around the corner. So if you could explain more, I mean, this is almost as if they're trying to clog the system with disinformation going after these efforts to solve the problem.
Well, they're really trying to break the system as it exists right now. Just now on your show, you had Trump reiterating a lot of the 2020 conspiracies that he won the election. And he wants to make sure, and I think people close to him want to make sure that he can do so again in 2024 without the system in place that's going to catch some of that information, those false claims, those conspiracies, those rumors as they are launched onto the internet. These researchers have really been crucial. They've been on the front lines of finding some of these conspiracies as they start and documenting them. And if that research is gone, there suddenly disappears a really important part of the fact-checking system that's come up around the internet.
Shira, talk to us about, are there any protections that can be put in place to preserve their work? Because you're right, this is certainly a politically opportune time for Republicans to make this crackdown.
Certainly. Well, I mean, these researchers have First Amendment rights to be conducting this research. They're academics. They've been working both with the U.S. government and with academic institutions to make sure that they're doing so in the appropriate way. I'll also note that in reporting this story, we spoke to people who work at these companies like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, to check if any of these accusations had any merit to them, if any of these researchers had improperly been censoring some type of speech. And they all repeated the same thing to us, which is that these researchers have no power. They can't delete anything from the internet. They just conduct research, and they do make recommendations for things that they believe to be conspiracies or rule-violating content. But they're not doing, as these people claim, some sort of mass deleting of information on the internet that they don't like.
Shira, is this a way for GOP operatives to use the court system essentially to force researchers into submission? Is that the aim? And this is just a use of opposition research against a new target, essentially.
I mean, these researchers certainly feel that to be the case. One academic I spoke to said that they had to freeze all of their work. They had been conducting work actually looking back at 2020 and 2022 elections to see what sort of conspiracies were being circulated. And they said they haven't been able to do any of that work for going on 6 weeks now. They're already worried that they're heading into another incredibly important election without the time or the bandwidth to be able to do this work. And I'll just note, we haven't even gotten into the idea that this election could potentially be even more full of disinformation because of the power of AI and the power to spread these kinds of disinformation campaigns very, very quickly using automated bots to create fake images and fake videos and fake sound bites. I mean, this is a time where we really could be flooded with disinformation.
New York Times technology reporter Shira Frankel, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.